Today, we will be covering the Dokkan Battle Iceberg Part 2. If you don't know what an iceberg is pretty much a giant trivia sheet. Starting all the way at the top are the most commonly known facts about a certain topic, and going all the way down to the bottom are the least commonly known facts about that topic. For today, we have the Dokkan Battle Iceberg Part 2. You can find Part 1 linked up in the card or down in the description, but today is Part 2. And of course, this iceberg is made by me, so we have a ton of entries to cover today. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. SA Counter Update. SA Counter Update is referring to the recent update on the Japanese version of the game, which allows characters to counter super attacks even if the evasion skill is disabled. Allow me to elaborate. Most characters inside of Dokkan with a counter have a wording on their passive that says evades enemy attack and counter. However, with this update, it has been changed to nullify super attack and counter, because before this, if the evasion skill was disabled, units could not counter super attack. However, after this update, they can actually counter super attack even if the evasion skill is disabled. This is a very good feature for a fight like Red Zone Broly, which disables evasion throughout the entire thing. Cell Max. Cell Max is referring to the infamous Cell Max event inside of Dokkan Battle that has terrorized the game for a few months until Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo came out. The event was so oppressive, in fact, that no team could beat it unless you used some extremely insane cheat strategies like AGL Pycon or the Tech Androids, or just got ungodly lucky, or encountered the bug in the global version where Cell Max could not super you for some reason. Point is though, the Cell Max event was an insanely difficult event that nobody could beat all the way up until this point pretty much. Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan is referring to the biggest misstep in Dokkan history, in my and a lot of other people's opinions, where Beast Gohan is still yet to be playable. If not moments ago, I just said that Beast Gohan was released. Well, I was only half telling the truth. Beast Gohan was technically released, however, he's only an active skill attack, similar to the Tech LR Gogeta inside of the LR Gods' active skill. Beast Gohan appears for approximately 20 seconds inside of a special beam cannon animation that looks insane. However, Beast Gohan himself is not playable. Orange Piccolo is playable, with his, of course, his transformation into the giant form, but Beast Gohan does not have such luck. Hopefully one day we get an LR Beast Gohan, but it just sucks to see they use a ton of his animations in this active skill, and LR Ultimate Gohan himself just has a lot of problems, which is just really sad. Chance to Guard. Chance to Guard is referring to the infamous community meme Chance to Guard. Units like STR God Vegeta, STR Namek Goku, and STR Ultimate Gohan to be precise. These units have a chance to guard, but there's a deadly flaw with these characters. The game will not tell you if the guard is active, so you pretty much throw all costs into the wind and put them inside of the first slot and pray they don't get supered, and if they get supered, you better pray they're guarding. This game could easily introduce a quality of life update to tell you if they're guarding. This would make these units better by proxy without having to do anything to their kit. Come on, Dokkan, step it up. Other is referring to the super attack type update released with LR Tech Gogeta, where super attacks were now split into 4 categories as opposed to 2, a very stupid change. However, it gets worse. Ki Blast and melee supers are still there, yes, of course. However, there's 2 new types, weapons and other. Weapons I can understand, but other is just insane because a lot of characters have the other super attack, but this was most likely introduced just to make super attack counters not as broken for characters like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta who can counter any super attack. Most units nowadays that come out with a counter mechanic can only counter Ki Blast or melee supers. However, a lot of the big bosses in the game actually have an other super attack. Take the Physical Sin Shenron in the Wishes Backfire event, who has an other super attack. It's definitely a really stupid way to gimp the super attack counter mechanic. Why not just lower the chance at that point? Very stupid change. Speaking of stupid changes, Carnival Coins. Carnival Coins is referring to a change released in the worldwide download celebration of 2022 with Tech LR Goku, where a new type of coin was added, Carnival Coins. On paper, this sounds great. However, in practice, these are pretty much just replacing yellow coin banners with teal coin banners. Yellow coin banners still exist, however, they have such less value now than Carnival coin banners. Yellow coin banners were buffed significantly in only having 7 featured units, but at this point you're better off summoning on Carnival banners, which have like 7 LRs, while Yellow coin LR banners only have 7 units and 1 LR pretty much. A very dumb change by Dokkan. Ultimate Red Zone. Ultimate Red Zone is referring to the 7th anniversary event, the Ultimate Red Zone, if not the most infamous event inside of Dokkan history next to Cell Max. The Ultimate Red Zone on release was the most oppressive event in the entire game, where barely any teams like the Cell Max event could even compete, but making it even worse than the Cell Max event, which you can only attempt it 3 times a day for the longest time until in the 8th anniversary they removed the limits temporarily. This of course is to artificially extend the lifespan of the event and to keep players coming back daily to get their daily attempts in. I personally think they should just make the event harder or make the event cost stamina as opposed to having daily limits. Let people play as much as they want. Dragon Ball Legend. We all know Dragon Ball Legends, the other Dragon Ball mobile game, that has not as high of a reception as Dokkan. These games have been clashing head to head for the past 5 years just about, and I can tell you right now, these games have quite the rivalry. Whether you prefer Dokkan or Legends, you gotta admit, the rivalry is going strong. AGL Trunks. AGL Trunks is referring to AGL Dokkan Fest Trunks, who for some reason is the only character inside of the game to get worse after transforming. Normally when characters transform, you'd of course expect them to improve. AGL Trunks, he technically improves, but he doesn't, because of the fact that AGL Trunks' transformation requires the enemy to have status ailments applied to them. However, AGL Trunks' transformation mechanic allows him to only transform against one enemy pretty much, because fights with more than one enemy don't last long enough for AGL Trunks to get the most out of his transformation, as he needs to perform a bunch of attacks to transform. When AGL Trunks transforms, he applies a bajillion status ailments to the enemy. However, this is a huge problem, because enemies, when AGL Trunks transforms, most likely have those abilities locked down, and you cannot apply them to him, pretty much making AGL Trunks a complete, utter waste of a unit to transform. In fact, his defense, even with all those ailments activated, would still be better in his base form than his Super Saiyan form. And this is because AGL Trunks' transformation does not get any additionals. Hopefully when this guy easy A's, they fix all these problems with this guy. Titles. Titles is referring to the 7th anniversary update, if I'm not mistaken, which adds in titles to the game. Titles, like in Legends, are collectibles you get from various accomplishments throughout Dokkan. Pretty much achievements, think of that. However, unlike Legends where it actually buffs your characters, inside of Dokkan they mean absolutely nothing and are nothing but collector's bonuses. Come on Dokkan, at least make them account towards your power level. It can't be that hard, right? Pity system. Pity system is referring to the pity system, or should I say lack thereof, pity system inside of Dokkan Battle. We technically have a band-aid pity system, which is the coin system, but there's no true pity system like in Dragon Ball Legends and some other gacha games. In Dragon Ball Legends, there's actually a ceiling on how many Chrono Crystals you can spend before you get the new Legends Limited unit. This of course does not exist for Ultra, but for Legends Limited you cannot spend more than 50,000 crystals before you're guaranteed one copy with coins. In Dokkan, this feature does not exist. The closest thing you get are red coins. However, when it comes to units like the worldwide units, they come back 11 months later, so I'd hardly call it a pity system. Dokkan literally said in an interview that they will not be introducing a pity system because they feel it's not necessary. I think this is the most brain-dead thing they could ever say about their game, not having a pity system. People can spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on the game and not get one unit. GoTruthDT, a YouTuber for Dokkan Battle, had an infamous moment with Tech Ultimate Gohan's SSR, the Gohan and Piccolo unit to be precise, where he went 11,000 stones before pulling one copy. To say this is okay is unacceptable, and if you defend the fact there's no pity system, you need to pull your head out of your ass. Kai Goku Chaozu. Kai Goku Chaozu is referring to the anniversary unit, the 8th anniversary unit, specifically LR Kai Goku. Kai Goku and Kai Gohan were units released during the anniversary, which are based on the openings of Dragon Ball. Very cool units. However, inside of AGL Kai Goku's intro, Chaozu is missing, despite being in the Dragon Ball Z Kai intro, next to Goku, Krillin, Tien, and all that. In Dokkan's version of this card, it does not exist. Chaozu is nowhere to be found. Very strange. Fizz Kid Goku Active Skill. Fizz Kid Goku's active skill is referring to two things mainly. One, the subpar animation it has, and two is the terrible voice acting in the English dub of the active skill. Kid Goku, unfortunately for both of us cars, the int one and the physical one, have the worst English active skills in the game, and it's not even close. Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s. This is the very sad entry. The Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s, which were released for the Hero Celebration of 2022, were extreme misses by Dokkan for being so underpowered. I don't know what Dokkan was thinking when releasing these guys. They are just not up to snuff. Their stats are just too low. These are arguably the coolest cards in the game, and unfortunately just don't hold up in the meta. It's just, they're usable on the Heroes team. However, the Heroes team are split into Super and Extreme units, which is limited enough for a very limited category, but to make it even worse is the Heroes team never gets updated except once a year. It is nice to know that every year Heroes does get updated, but it's just not enough to constitute these guys being so underpowered. Hearts' English voice. Talking about disappointment, we have Hearts' English voice, or should I say, lack thereof. Hearts, for some reason, on the English version has no active skill voice. However, on the Japanese version, he does. This is very similar to Tech LR Broly, however, something tells me this won't be being changed. To make things even worse are when the Hearts and Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s were revealed on the global version in the trailer, Hearts had his Japanese voice. However, if you have the Japanese voices set on global, he still has no voice, despite having a Japanese voice on the Japanese version of the game. This is of course to keep the balance between the two voice options, but at this point it's borderline false advertisement. So you know what? Fuck it, I'll give him a voice myself to prevent a lawsuit. Ha ha hee 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 ho! This is the power of the Universe C. Now, witness the beginning of a new universe. Power level. Power level is referring to the once again update added with the titles Power level, or pretty much the My Profile update. Power level is pretty much a way to check how much you play Dokkan and how active you are. The biggest problem with power level, however, is the amount of stock it puts into link leveling. One level 10 link is 1,000 power level, while clearing a single stage is like 10 points. There's a huge imbalance, and link leveling doesn't really show how active you are in Dokkan. It shows how many times you run through 31-4. Beast assets. When Beast Gohan and Ultimate Piccolo came out, of course we don't have the Beast transformations, but since we don't have a Beast transformation and there was a story event released, they of course had to get Beast Gohan assets. So of course they used the LR Ultimate Gohan asset of him going Beast inside of the story event to signify him going Beast instead of actually showing him with his own transformation. I have no idea what Dokkan was smoking when they made this card. LR Ultimate Gohan Global Error. To rub salt in the wound of LR Ultimate Gohan, on Global, he's even worse. Or should I say cosmetically. He's not worse in performance, he's worse cosmetically, and there's one reason why. In Ultimate Gohan's intro on JP, everything looks great, right? Everything looks good. However, on the Global version, at the end of his intro, when he's just standing there saying, "I will defeat you," there's a huge problem with the shading. His body is green, and his head is tan. However, on the Japanese version, this doesn't exist. And if you look closely, it's unbelievably distracting on such an awesome card. I have no idea how this happened, and the worst part is that these units are copy and pasted from each version. How did this happen? LR Blue Goku. LR Blue Goku is referring to the non-existent LR Blue Goku inside of Dokkan Battle. We have units like Team Universe 7 and LR Blue Kaioken Goku, but we don't have a standalone LR Blue Goku yet. It's insane to think that almost 9 years in, we still don't have an LR Blue Goku. Hopefully we get one soon. Fizz Z Duo Vegeta can attack. This is referring to the Fizz Z Duo Dokkan event where you awaken them the LR, where the Vegeta at the end, normally when you play as him, cannot attack. However, inside of this Dokkan event, he can attack. He can do the Spirit Bomb standby skill. To make things even weirder though, this isn't the standby for the enemy, this is actually the super attack he has. So, unlike the Vegeta you play as who has no super attack, the super attack for this boss enemy is actually the Spirit Bomb, which is very cool. And since it's a super attack, you can watch it in 2x speed if you were able to obtain this card somehow. This also takes place in the Anniversary Battle event, where this Fizz Z Duo Vegeta can actually attack you. Very cool card. And yes, before you say, I know it's because the standby skills cannot be activated for the enemies, but I think it's very cool because these are not voice. If you get the super attack off, they will have no voice when they do it against you, or if you somehow manage to get your hands on this card, he cannot have any voices when they do the super attack. Dr. Wheelo. Dr. Wheelo is referring to the non-existent Dr. Wheelo inside of Dokkan Battle, once again, almost 9 years in. We have some little homages to it in the story mode with Dr. Cochin and whatnot, but there's no actual Dr. Wheelo card, celebration, or anything like it in Dokkan. Hopefully one day, similar to Garlic Jr., we will actually get a Dr. Wheelo celebration, because that'd be very cool. LR Cooler Duo Alternate TUR Art. LR Cooler Duo Alternate TUR Art is referring to the 2022 Worldwide Download Celebration Dokkan Fest LR Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, the agility one to be precise. We all know their TUR art where it's them charging at the coolers, right? Where they have their armor and everything, their gi, everything, right? We all know that. However, in their 12 key, when they use their morale boost, there's actually an alternate art of this TUR, where of course it's showing Goku without the shirt and then Vegeta with the ripped armor. This of course is not possible to see in normal game against the TUR because this TUR does not have the morale boost. So this TUR art is only used for this LR specifically, which is very cool. And it's very cool how they redrew this entire TUR just to show the clothes change. They didn't have to do that, but they went the extra mile with this card, and it's definitely noticeable. AGL Hercule. AGL Hercule is referring to the Day 777 login bonus, AGL Hercule. This Hercule is a very strange card to say the least, considering how on the JP and Global version of the game, there's actually a difference on the Day 77 login bonus. JP gets 30 stones, while Global gets 7 stones. And this AGL Hercule is the trophy card you get for that. However, this guy does not have an awakening, he barely has a diamond background, around, and he's just overall a very strange card. He can be sorta useful if you give him full dodge, you know, just be a sub option on an AGL team, but overall this card is just very strange. AGL Blue Kaioken. AGL Blue Kaioken is referring to the AGL Blue Kaioken Goku who had the wrong name. This AGL Blue Kaioken Goku should have the name Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku Kaioken like the STR one. However, it's just called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku. This is because his banner unit he released with, which was another Super Saiyan Blue Goku, has the same name. All these years later, I don't think changing this guy's name to Blue Kaioken Goku would break the game or anything. Come on, Dokkan, get on it. And while you're at it, change Trunks and Adult Gohan's name from Superhero also. Day 3000 LR. Day 3000 LR is actually referring to the fact that we did not get an LR for Day 3000 or even Day 2000. Day 2000 we got an EZA for Spirit Bomb Goku, the 1000 day LR, but for Day 3000 we got no such thing. Instead we got a support memory, which gives you a buff for 3000 turn. It's not the greatest support memory of all time, but you know, it can be kind of useful if you just need an extra buff inside of an event. However, it's so goddamn rare, I don't know why they didn't make it any more overpowered. You did get a fire-ass title though, I may say. Int Goku Black. Int Goku Black is referring to the fact that transforming Goku Black does not have aura for some reason. Physical Goku Black and the Super Saiyan Rose cards barring this version actually have auras. Even the base Goku Black, the physical one, right? However, Int Goku Black's base form and even his Super Saiyan Rose form do not have aura for some reason. It's extremely strange how this happened, and I had swore they would fix it, but they never did. Sure, it makes this card stand out, but it just feels so wrong not having aura on this character. The Super Saiyan Rose aura in Dokkan looks great, so to not see it on this card really stings. Fizz God Goku Aura Error. Fizz God Goku Aura Error is referring to the most recent Dokkan Fest God Goku, the physical one, the one that leaves Hybrid Saiyans and Pure Saiyans. There's a very strange oddity with this card. This card, for some reason, has a different aura than the Int Super Saiyan God Goku and the other Super Saiyan God Gokus. And not only that, when he attacks, his aura disappears for some reason, and when he gets attacked. But on the map, when you're choosing the orbs, he has aura, but it's still different than the other Super Saiyan God Gokus. I assume like a certain button forgot to be ticked when making this card, and I swore like in Goku Black they would change the aura, but they never did for either of these characters, so it doesn't make any sense. Very strange, but it does make the card stick out a lot, which is definitely, I guess, a good thing for it. Tech Bardock SSR. Tech Bardock SSR is referring to Dokkan Fest Tech Bardock SSR, in which his super attack is actually completely different than his TUR. While the animation itself is the same, his SSR of course has his armor and scouter and everything on, while his TUR doesn't, it's just his destroyed costume. However, since his SSR has a scouter and everything on, they reanimated the entire super attack, with Bardock having a scouter, his normal armor, and everything. They reanimated a bunch of assets just to make the super attack different for this SSR character you will never see anywhere else. Very strange, but I'm really glad they went the extra mile, because some of these assets look really cool. Speaking of SSRs, Int Goku Black SSR. Like Tech Bardock, or sort of similar but different at the same time, Int Goku Black's SSR has a very strange oddity to it. We all know Int Goku Black's TUR super attack looks pretty good even before he transforms, of course. However, in his SSR, he has this weird asset of him, you know, clenching his fist and looking at the screen with a really cool art style. Unfortunately, this doesn't make any appearance in the TUR super attack, and it makes no sense. This asset looks fantastic, and the fact it's not in a TUR makes no goddamn sense. Hopefully they add it in one day, but you know, they're not known to change super attack animation barring a few times. But, you know, anything is possible. AGL Transforming Goku Super Saiyan God Error. Like the physical God Goku, this AGL Transforming Goku also has an error in his Super Saiyan God Aura. I don't know what it is with Super Saiyan God Auras do, but they just cannot get them right. This Super Saiyan God Goku actually has a different aura. Like the Tech Super Saiyan God Goku from the Broly movie, this Super Saiyan God Goku also has a different aura than all the other Super Saiyan God Gokus. Like Fizz God Goku, he has an aura that is a Super Saiyan God aura, but it's not the normal Super Saiyan God aura that the Int and STR and AGL ones have. Instead, it's just not as pronounced as those auras, and it feels like it's just missing a ton of oomph that those other auras have. Even Fizz God Goku has more oomph to his aura despite missing some of his auras from the Int and STR ones. Easy Area Format Change. Easy Area Format Change referring to Extreme Z areas inside of Dokkan Battle, a very controversial addition introduced in the worldwide celebration of 2019. Extreme Z areas are used for easying free-to-play units and the Hero Extermination Plan units. Honestly, I can understand that, but I still think those Hero Extermination Plan units should have had their own Extreme Z battle, but I digress. Originally, these stages had a very weird pathing. You could either go left or right, go to the Nimbus and fight the boss, right? You had to choose one or the other. However, when the 8th anniversary hit and those free-to-play units got added to the game, the Extreme Z area format was weirdly changed for some reason. The format now is just a straight line, and you can just click ones and ones, you get nothing but ones, and you get all the medals in one run. And you can also auto-map it. The original Extreme Z area format, you could not use auto one, but inside these new format stages, you can use auto, which is very nice. It does suck though, because Dokkan did not go back and change the old stages, but every subsequent release for Extreme Z areas after the 8th anniversary does have this new format change. I can tell you right now, it makes Extreme Z areas a hell of a lot more bearable. Because there's nothing worse than getting the question mark, and then on the last run, you don't need the question mark anymore, and you're just shit out of luck. Int Hercule Broken. Int Hercule Broken is referring to the banner unit Int Hercule that came out of STR Super Boo, in which the fact that his damage reduction was broken, and in a good way. In the Cell Max event, for some reason, no matter what, this Hercule would not take damage. And during the time of this bug's reign, people were able to use this in Hercule to manage to conquer the Cell Max event. Dokkan quickly realized players were actually having fun in their event, and quickly went in and fixed this Hercule's damage reduction bug, but still have yet to add a pity system for some reason. LR God's intro. LR God's intro is referring to the Tech LR Super Saiyan God Goku and Super Saiyan God Vegeta's intro, in which there's a really weird inconsistency. In the beginning, you see Goku holding the jacket and saying, "It's about time I got a chance to fight," of course. You will notice, though, his mouth is moving. You know, everything looks good. However, as the intro progresses, you'll notice the mouth movement stops for some reason. So, at the beginning of the intro, there's mouth movement, but halfway through it, there is no mouth movement. This is an error that goes across all of Dokkan, unfortunately, in which a ton of intros have no mouth movement, same with some active skills. Also, for some reason, a lot of intros and active skills do have mouth movement. It's inconsistent, and is whenever Dokkan feels like adding mouth movement. Tech LR Orange Piccolo also has no mouth movement in his intro. Physical Super Saiyan God Goku has no mouth movement in his intro, but Int Super Saiyan God Goku exchanging into Blue Vegeta does have mouth movement in his intro. It's so inconsistent, but it's not as inconsistent as the LR Gods having mouth movement and not having it in the same intro. Very strange. Fizz Golden Frieza Sprite. Fizz Golden Frieza Sprite is referring to Broly movie physical Golden Frieza Sprite and the fact that he did not get a new sprite. AGL Goku, Tech Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Broly all got new sprites in the Broly movie style. But Golden Frieza for some reason didn't. It's very strange. He uses the same exact sprite as all the other Golden Friezas. The Goku and Vegeta got coats, and the banner units actually got new art styles entirely, but physical Golden Frieza got nothing for some reason. Very strange. Also, when are they going to easy A this guy in the end, Broly? Blood. Blood is referring to the very rare occurrence out of Dokkan, Blood. Blood appears on very few cards in the game, notably being Tech Bardock, Int Namek Goku, and STR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and AGL Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Blood is a very rare occurrence, of course, because, you know, ratings and stuff like that. And unfortunately, this comes at the cost of some characters that should have Blood not having it, like Fizz Angel Vegeta and Int Majin Vegeta. If these characters had Blood, these characters will be even cooler than they already were. Hopefully Dokkan in the future experiments with more characters having Blood on them, because Blood just makes the characters look very cool. Tournament team NPCs. We all know in the World Tournament there's the bonus teams, right? You know, like the Legendary Power team, you know, the 23rd World Tournament bonus team to get you extra points to get you to 30 million so you can close the app faster. Yeah, those teams. Well, in the tournament teams, there's some various teams that actually have NPCs on them. For example, there is the Universe 7 team, which has Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta's AGL form transformed already. It's impossible to play as this card at the start of a fight. You need to get it after 4 turns, and 40% chance activates, or 30% if he's not easy aid. There's also various teams with Mr. Popo on them. There's various teams with Great Apes on them. It's impossible to have 7 of different Great Apes on the same team. You can only have 1 Great Ape transfer one at a time. So various cards like this actually exist in these tournament NPC teams to make these guys stand out a little bit, and, you know, to spice up the World Tournament a little bit. STR Wii Symbol Goku. STR Wii Symbol Goku is referring to Super Saiyan Wii Symbol Goku, the only one in the game, might I add, in which he actually is not on Reps of Universe 7, despite being in the Universe 6 vs. 7 tournament. The Blue Kaioken Goku and the Blue Goku that succeed the Super Saiyan Goku are actually on Reps of Universe 7. However, this STR Wii Symbol Goku is not on it for some reason, despite his SSRR being the one he fights Frost with. This is definitely an oversight and one that was never fixed. I don't know what they were thinking with this. Wii Symbol Super Saiyan Vegeta. Wii Symbol Super Saiyan Vegeta is referring to the fact that we do not have a Wii Symbol Super Saiyan Vegeta in the game. At least we have a Goku, despite not being on the correct categories, he exists. Wii Symbol Super Saiyan Vegeta does not exist. In fact, I believe he's only a story mode asset in various story events. Hopefully we get this guy as a playable card one day, otherwise this game's gonna turn out like Xenoverse. No. Super Strike 16. Super Strike 16 is referring to the fact that Super Strike 16 is one of 2 strike cards to not get a new super attack when Easy 8. Instead, he reuses Tech Android 16 super attack from fighters for some reason. This is just pure laziness, and this was before Dokkan started giving the Super Strike units new super attacks. And unfortunately, this Android 16 was just a victim of circumstance and the fact that he was the second unit that Easy 8 for Super Strike and did not get his own super attack. Hopefully one day they go back and revamp the Super 16 super attack. Angel Golden Frieza. Angel Golden Frieza is referring to Angel Golden Frieza, the physical and Int one specifically, in which the fact that Angel Golden Frieza has no aura in Dokkan Battle. The original Golden Friezas do have aura, the AGL Golden Frieza, LR Golden Frieza, Int Golden Frieza, all those Golden Friezas, have the Golden Frieza aura. But for some reason, Angel Golden Frieza does not have aura for some reason. This bothered the absolute hell out of me ever since Angel Golden Frieza came out on JP, and even to this day, 6 years fucking later, it still bothers the absolute shit out of me. Dokkan, please add auras to these units. It's not that hard. Speaking of auras, Enemy Super Saiyan God Difference. Enemy Super Saiyan God Difference is referring to boss Super Saiyan God cards, which once again do not have the correct Super Saiyan God aura. Even Int Super Saiyan God Goku, STR Super Saiyan God Goku, AGL God Goku, they don't have the correct aura as an enemy. Despite having the correct aura when you play as them, as an enemy, they still don't have the correct aura. In fact, they have the same aura as AGL transforming Super Saiyan God Goku as an enemy, for some unexplainable reason. Please, someone explain why these Super Saiyan God auras are so inconsistent. It is driving me insane. Int GT Goku Sprite. Int GT Goku Sprite is referring to the 8th anniversary LR at home, Int GT Goku from the 4th anniversary that does the Universal Spirit Bond. This GT Goku is very unique in the fact that his sprite was actually changed a few weeks after he came out. When he came out, his sprite did not have a tail. However, a few weeks later, he had a tail all of a sudden, and this is because of severe backlash from the Japanese community. It's insane to think they actually listened to feedback for this random free-to-play card, but did not listen to feedback for Beast fucking Gohan. Int Free-to-Play GT Goku Alternate Super Attack. Int Free-to-Play GT Goku Alternate Super Attack is actually referring to that same card I was talking about, but inside of the 8th Anniversary LR Dokkan event for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and GT Goku, you fight this GT Goku. However, his super attack isn't, the normal one you normally see. The one that doesn't take very long and was about 4 years old. But instead, you actually see the revive attack of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and GT Goku. But the Vegeta speaking part of the animation is actually cut out. Instead, it's only the Goku throwing the Spirit Bomb. I have no idea why the Vegeta part was cut out, and then why they used this card as the boss instead of making the Goku asset his own card, but it's very interesting, and the fact they cut the animation of Vegeta speaking out is very interesting to me as well. Speaking of GT Vegeta, unused GT Vegeta asset. Unused GT Vegeta asset is referring to AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's Dokkan event second phase, in which you see a very weird Super Saiyan GT Vegeta. Though he may look a little familiar, and that's because this GT Vegeta here is a reskin of Tecmajin Vegeta. You know Tecmajin Vegeta's TUR? Well, this is just a reskin of that art for some reason. This art was used for the Int GT Vegeta Dokkan Fest teaser, however this art has not been made its own card yet, and most likely because it's just a reskin of another card. Though we have characters with the same exact art like the Super 17 SRs, but we don't actually have this GT Vegeta as a card. Hopefully we get him as a card one day. Beast Gohan NPC. Beast Gohan NPC is referring to the fact that inside of LR Ultimate Gohan's Dokkan event, you of course see Beast Gohan in the back, just chilling there, doing his thing. However, inside the Dokkan event itself, at the last phase, there is a very, very small chance that the Ultimate Gohan boss will actually do the Special Beam Cannon animation, with no voice or anything, and it's in 2x speed, which is even crazier. It also hits extremely hard too. As you can see here, this Gohan boss actually has 3 super attacks. He has his 12 and 18 key, but he also has the Special Beam Cannon as a super attack. And thus, because this character has 3 super attacks, and if you're able to play as this guy, and you got the 3rd super attack, you could theoretically be playing as Beast Gohan every single turn with the super attack. It makes me wonder why the Special Beam Cannon wasn't one of his supers, but to be fair, his 2 super attacks do look fantastic. But come on, Dokkan, give us Beast Gohan already, it's not that hard. And give him the Beast Axe while you're at it. Hello everyone, I'm the Dragon Ball Legends producer, Toshi. I hope you are all excited for the 3rd anniversary part 5 with Super Saiyan 5 Gogeta and Ultra Vegito tag unit. However, I come with even more great news. Omatu has resigned his position as the Dokkan producer, and I am taking his place. And in celebration for this momentous occasion, we are dropping a special LR inside of Dokkan Battle. Ultimate Gohan from Fortnite will be arriving in Dokkan AGLTN Super Strike. AGLTN Super Strike is of course referring to the Super Strike AGLTN, in which there was a very strange oddity that I guarantee not a single person on this planet knew. For some reason, on JP specifically, when he came out, Stage 3 of this TN had the wrong super attack. He did the Tri-Beam, but his hands for some reason were above his head, and he did the Dodon Ray actual beam while being in the Tri-Beam position for some reason. It makes no sense, but this was fixed a few weeks after release. I had footage of it on my phone, but unfortunately when I was clearing some stuff out, I accidentally deleted it. Yeah, I know, how convenient, but you gotta take my word for it, and maybe someone who did a video on the Super Strike event when it came out might actually be able to show footage of the Super Strike TN in action. Hopefully someone has footage of it, because I had it and I deleted it by accident. I'm sorry, but just take my word for it that TN's TUR super attack, which normally has his own animation, for some reason had like a combination of his new and old animation, where he did the Dodon Ray while having the Tri-Beam posing. It's so strange. Tech Omega. Tech Omega is referring to Tech Omega Shenron, and the fact that this is a boss card with his own super attack and his own art. This raid boss was originally released during the 4th anniversary with that free-to-play GT Goku, but for some reason this Tech Omega Shenron has a really good looking super attack, and this Tech Omega Shenron, weirdly enough, was never used in any other event barring this raid. He wasn't used in his Omega Shenron Red Zone fight, nor was he used in the Shadow Dragon event from the 8th anniversary. So I have no idea what they're planning on doing with this Tech Omega Shenron, but like the Jiren raid boss, maybe they'll make him a TUR for an LR Omega one day. But all I'm saying is, please give him that damn super attack, Dokkan. You gotta do it. Tech Gogeta. Tech Gogeta, when he came out, is referring to Tech LR Gogeta, the fusing Goku and Vegeta card from Tanabata 2021. For some very strange reason, when this card came out, when they fused into Gogeta, Gogeta did not have aura for some reason. But to make things even stranger, they actually fixed this one. Tech Gogeta, when he came out, did not have aura, but a few weeks later they actually added his correct aura onto his sprite. I don't know why they fixed this Tech Gogeta, but they didn't fix Ink Goku Black or Golden Frieza or Fifth God Goku. But this Tech Gogeta, I guess, is just another anomaly in the long list of aura problems in Dokkan. Super Strike Mighty Mask. Like Super Strike 16, Super Strike Mighty Mask was the other character who did not have his own super attack animation when getting Easy 8. And that's because this Super Strike Mighty Mask is the first actual Super Strike that awakened to a TUR. And of course they weren't giving you no super attacks at this time, but unlike 16, they didn't even give this guy the TUR Mighty Mask super attack. They gave him nothing. They gave him his SR super attack, and they never went back and fixed it. At least 16 got a good animation from his original Android 16 animation Hell Flash from his SSR, and he got the actual Health Flash from the Tech Android 16, but this Super Strike Mighty Mask didn't get the TUR AGL LR Mighty Mask super attack, and instead just kept the SR Mighty Mask super attack from this event. I have no idea why they didn't do that. It's probably, of course, because they first awakened them and didn't change the super, but it definitely sucks, as this Mighty Mask is definitely a huge victim of circumstance. Maybe one day they'll go back and amend these two cards, but who knows, only time will tell. AGL Piccolo Jr. AGL Piccolo Jr. referring to the World Tournament reward card AGL Piccolo Jr. from the Dragon Ball Saga Summon tickets. This AGL Piccolo Jr. is very weird, and that's for one reason specifically, his art. His art, for some unexplainable reason, actually is from like 2015, but he was released in 2021. You can tell because characters with like the brainwashed Piccolo and stuff like that, it's in the same exact art style as this AGL Piccolo Jr. I have no idea why they held on to this card for so long, but eventually they did end up releasing him as his own art. Originally he was just in the data and shown in trailers, but you know, he was eventually added his own card in 2021. It's a shame when he awakens he'll lose this art, because this is probably one of my favorite Piccolo arts in the entire game. 80 wins. 80 wins is referring to the World Tournament original goal, which was to get 80 wins to get all the rewards. Can you imagine getting 80 wins back in the day with how slow the game used to be? Nowadays we need to get, you know, pretty much like 35 wins in the advanced tournaments. Back then you needed 80 and the game was a lot slower. I can only imagine how terrible that must be. Oh, goodness gracious. salacious. Fizz Jiren. Fizz Jiren is referring to the raid boss Jiren from 2018, in which there was this very weird Jiren raid boss card. Back in the day in 2018, we did not actually have a full power Jiren. We only had STR Jiren, and then his, of course, TUR, which, you know, was sort of full power, but not really. However, in that raid event, we actually got 2 full power Jiren NPC cards. There's the SSR and then the TUR of that card, and he had his own super attack as well. Eventually, you know, about 2 years later, we ended up getting that Jiren as a playable card. However, weirdly enough, his super attacks were actually changed as his SSR and TUR. This means that only time you can see this physical Jiren super attack is in this Tournament of Power story event for some reason. It really sucks too, because I personally think this older super attack does look better than the new one. I know I'm probably going to be alone on that hill, but I don't know, that's just the way I think. Official Legends Collab. Official Legends Collab is referring to the Legends Collab that no one remembers or even talks about. Back in 2019, at the end of it to be precise, around when Green LR Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta came out, where an official wallpaper was released combining both Dokkan art and Legends art inside of one awesome wallpaper. In fact, it was so long ago that Goku is in the wrong outfit while Vegeta's in his Future Saga outfit, while Goku's in his Wii Symbol Gi outfit for some reason. It's very strange how this only happened once and never actually happened again. The games never acknowledged each other's existence, barring this one moment. And of course when Legends came out, saying it was built on feedback from Dokkan. Int DFE Piccolo Jr. and Int LR Piccolo, same card. This entry is referring to the fact that the transformation for Int Dokkan Fest Piccolo Jr.'s art is actually used as a cut-in for Int LR Piccolo's 18-key super attack. If you look closely, you'll see they're the exact same asset, and for some reason this Piccolo's art was all the way in the game from 2015 or 16 when Int LR Piccolo came out. It's insane to me how this happened, because when I saw this Piccolo's art for the first time, I was like, I've seen this art before. I've seen this art before. I swear I've seen it. I always thought it was the clone Piccolo Special Beam Cannon art in that LR Piccolo's 18 key, but no, it's actually the transformation for Piccolo Jr. in a Saiyan Saga Piccolo's card for some reason. Also, that Int LR Piccolo does the Hell Zone grenade despite being from the Saiyan Saga. Makes no sense whatsoever, but honestly, I thought that was a really cool find though, with the Int DFE Piccolo Jr. asset being used in Int LR Piccolo's super attack, his 18 key one to be precise. Very cool detail by Dokkan, who revealed that that art was made so long ago. Anyway guys, that's going to bring us to the end of the Dokkan Iceberg Part 2. I hope you all enjoyed this Iceberg. I had a lot of fun making it, and talking about Dokkan is one of my favorite things to do. I'm a huge Dokkan fan. I've been playing the game for, since, second anniversary. I have a lot to say about the game, and I had a lot of fun making this Iceberg, just thinking about a bunch of things to put on the Iceberg. I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed too. Anyway guys, I'm all out of time for this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave a comment. But anyway guys, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.